What's up, guys? My name is Gavin or GTS, and today I'm going to be going over my top 5 favorite WCA events. So for number 5, I have 4x4. 4x4 is that event that it's bigger than 3x3, but it's also really fun. Because even though it does have some issues, like lockups, and even though it's like an even layered cube, you can also get a lot of parodies and sometimes mess up the centers and edges if you do something wrong. But other than that, it's actually pretty fun. I'd say it's just that unique big cube that, like, it is the smallest big cube, but at the same time, it's just super fun just to do. And in general, I enjoy it. And, you know, like, edges are pretty fun for me. And also, 4x4 can improve your look ahead as well. So for 4x4, I use the Yushin Little Magic 4x4, nothing really big, but the method I use is actually Yaoduction, and it's a mixture of Yao and Reduction, because I'm not the best on Yao. I'd say I average around under, like, 54 seconds, so I average about 53 or so-ish. But yeah, 4x4 is just that unique event because it can be so fast as well, just because of how just fun it is, and yeah, so that's basically everything for 4x4. So now for the number 4 event, we're going on to 2x2. So 2x2 is definitely the most luck-based event, I feel like, in all of WCA. And it also is the shortest. In my opinion, 2x2 is not very fun to watch, but it's fun to do, in my opinion. Because there are a lot of algs that you can learn, and it is kind of alg heavy. But other than that, it's actually pretty fun to do in general. And also, it's really fun because sometimes you can spam TPS, and that's basically, like, why I'd say 2x2 is one of my best events, because I'm able to just spam TPS, and I won't, like, mess up at all, because, like, I can still see everything so clearly after I spam it, so that's why I average around, like, 2 to 3 seconds on Ortega and LBL, but yeah. So, I also use the Volk 2, which is a really good 2x2, one of the best on the market right now. I wouldn't say, like, everyone uses it, but a lot of people still use it nowadays. It is kind of old, but I'd say it's pretty good, and I do like the feeling of it. It's very smooth and fast, and if you move it correctly, it can actually be really stable and fast as well. So, that is going to be it for 2x2, so let's just watch the rest of these solves. Okay, now coming in at the number 3 spot, we have 3x3 with one hand. So 3x3 with one hand is also known as called one-handed, or OH is how most people call it. But one-handed is very unique because it's kind of like a challenge. You take a 3x3 and you only have to solve it with one hand. And I just think it's pretty cool that I'm able to do it pretty fast. It was my main event for like a few weeks, but it did drop because of a couple reasons. It started getting boring after a while with practice. And also, I do get a lot of hand cramps if I do it for too long. But, you know, I'd say it's still pretty fun. It's just a very unique way of solving the 3x3, mainly because it's just very fun. And it's just like a nice challenge that I can do in general. So, for 3x3 one-handed, I actually use my right hand, which most people don't. They actually use their left hand, but I just learned from my right hand. So, a problem that I actually had at first was doing my algs from the left-handed instead of the right hand. So, I had to learn all of my PLL and OLL algs lefty. So, I had to learn just how to do it, like, solving left-handed instead of right-handed. But other than that, there wasn't really anything, like, bad about it. But, yeah. So, another thing is, I don't really have a small cube that I can use, because my smallest 3x3 that I use is like a 55.5. So, you know, that's okay, but hopefully soon I can get a smaller one. But that's basically it for, all I have to say for 4x4. I mean, 3x3 one-handed. I'm sorry, guys. That's all I have to say for 3x3 one-handed. So let's just wait and watch the rest of the solves until we go on to our number 2 event. Okay, so now for the number 2 event, we have 3x3. And this is probably the event that most people learn and most people practice, because it's just so fascinating, and it's just so crazy how there are so many ways to solve it, and just how many methods have been created from this event. So I think it's probably one of the best events in my opinion, mainly because it's just so crazy how fast people have gotten on it. So I currently use the Volk Elite, and I average about 10 seconds on 3x3. So I'd say I'm pretty, like, intermediate to advanced, like almost that point where I am advanced. I'd say I'm around advanced, but basically it's just like F2L is very fascinating in my opinion. I really like F2L because I use it very intuitively. I don't do any algs, but what's cool about it is if you do learn it intuitively, you can actually basically what I'm trying to say is you can create your own algs in your head, which will actually make it better for you learning other things that are intuitive, so then you can get better at other events. So I pretty much like that. And also for OLL and PLL, I do use full OLL and full PLL, and basically it does help with memorization, because that's normally the first thing people learn on 3x3 is like PLL, and then normally the last thing they learn is like OLL. But other than that, I'd say 3x3 is pretty fun, and just in general, it's that event that's just so fascinating because there's so many ways to solve it, and just how popular it's been gotten. JK, that was my PB scramble, ha 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 ha. Okay, so now for the number 1 event on my list, we have the one and only Square One, or as some people call it, Squan. So a lot of you were probably like, why is Square One out of everything? I don't know. It's mainly because it's just a fun event in general. I mean, the cube shape is awesome, and just basically algs are pretty fun, and just the way you turn it is pretty weird, but unique at the same time, and I kind of like events like that. It's just, Square One has always just been fun in my opinion. Like, ever since I first learned it, I thought it was going to be like a cool event that I could learn and get pretty good at. So currently I use the Usual Little Magic, which isn't the best Squan out there, in my opinion. But, you know, it's okay because, like, I average around, like, sub 23, something like that. So I'm not the fastest in the world, but I just think it's a really unique and fun event. But, so, the bad parts about it is that you do have parity, and sometimes if you don't know a certain cube shape that well, it can take a really long time to do, so yeah, and also it's just a very alg-heavy event to learn. But other than that, it's pretty fun. I'd say what's really cool is that not as many people do this event, and not as many people are really fast on it. So because I'm technically kind of faster than most people, my sum of ranks would be higher than other events because of this. And yeah, I just think that's kind of cool about it. So yeah, basically, those are going to be my top 5 events from today. So yeah, I just want to say thank you guys so much for watching the video. This is my first time ever doing a voiceover, and I thought it was pretty cool that I actually figured out how to do this. So another thing, I wasn't really able to tell you guys because I kept on forgetting, but I want to say thank you for 200 subscribers. That has been a kind of like a milestone for me for a while, and to be honest, I wasn't expecting myself to get this far pretty fast, because I'm still gaining subscribers. Now I have, I think, 219 to 220, something like that. But I feel like we could go even more, and now that I'm starting to learn how to start editing my videos more, I feel like the videos are going to get much better, and I can gain more views and subscribers. So, I just want to say thank you.